So, hello everybody. Today I'm joined by Rima. Rima, thank you for taking some time to join me today. Do you want to do a quick little intro, let everybody know who you are and what it is you do?
Sure. So I am a career coach that helps individuals accelerate their growth so that they can break into senior leadership.
Cool. Cool. Thank you for joining me. So, give everyone a bit of context. Me and Rima have been working together just over 4 months now. And yeah, just thought it'd be good to get her on, get her to tell us her experience and her journey. So, I guess do you want to kick us off, Rima, and let us know, like, initially when we started together, which was April now, what was like the main frustration that you were looking to overcome within your coaching?
Yeah, so I do both consulting and coaching, and I've been coaching now for 8 years, but I've never been able to get consistent clients coming in. One, because I haven't been putting myself out there on social media and sort of trying to do that the marketing way. I've tried LinkedIn in the past and doing some of those direct type messages, but I feel like that didn't work. I thought my approach, given I was in a corporate coaching sector, is that I would go to HR and do the reach outs that way and try to get through corporate way. It was very challenging to do that. So I was finding that I was getting all of my leads through my network and through people who have worked with me and recommending me, which is just not enough to kind of sustain the coaching side of my business. And so my sort of goal in the end is to be fully coaching and giving up my consulting at some point. And so I thought, okay, now it's time to sort of really put in the work, but then it's finding like what is the right way and who do I go with to crack this code? Because I know there is a way people are doing this. I just haven't figured it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's sort of where I was.
Yeah. And so what was your, like, obviously you mentioned you had your network and stuff, but what was your general feeling about lead generation and sales and just getting clients in general?
Yeah, I didn't actually believe social media could lead to getting like true sales. Like I just didn't think it worked, or I didn't think it would work for me. I thought people kind of have to know you, and or be recommended because that's sort of what's worked for me in the past, and especially with consulting. Like everything I've done and been successful on to date has been because of my clients who have been referring me and bringing me in more clients. And so I just didn't think just cold calling or cold messaging or putting a video of myself is going to lead to me getting, clients wanting to buy, a coaching program.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. Appreciate the honesty. And so I guess for you then in April, what made you decide to go ahead and work together?
Yeah, so I think I was at the point where, consulting's doing well, but I'd love to get more money coming from the coaching side of my business. And so if that meant investing a bit more, that means investing and doing, figuring it out. But I really, if the end goal, is to eventually get coaching to be sort of the main income, I have to take some kind of action. Like I can't just expect things to change on its own. And so then it's about finding what is the right thing to do in order to get that to work.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that's the best mindset to go about this stuff with. And so I guess then for yourself, do you want to break down for us what results you've achieved in that time, but also a bit about your journey and our time together?
Yeah. So I feel like, when we connected, I was ready to do all the steps. I feel like I was hitting them pretty quickly, got the 12 videos out, got my ad up and running. And so I was feeling pretty good when we started. Like I was like, I'm going to get this going really quickly so we can start seeing results and making this come through. And so obviously things don't happen very quickly as hope to expect. There is some trial and error that did happen in my journey. I think I had to learn a few things along the way. One being, just around the messaging and like what really like who really am I trying to message and what is really the pain point, because I feel like I was missing that emotional piece of like why someone wanted to buy, or the urgency piece as to why someone wanted to buy. I think people were all interested in sort of the coaching that I was offering, but there was no emotional need to like really do this now. And I feel like that's what sort of slowed down the process for me in terms of getting to the results that I was hoping to get to. So I did do a few different rounds of ads, and finally got to a messaging now that is working, and I'm getting the right leads coming in, and I'm getting the right calls happening. And so then it's for me to just improve. Like, I'm not a salesperson. Most coaches aren't. That's not what we really want to do. We just want to coach. And so, also working through improving my sales pitching and all that. You've been really helpful through that entire process with the scripts and looking at my calls and giving feedback. So it's really helped, but it's just sort of that click of believing that I can also sell someone on Instagram that who has never met me versus the people that I typically sell with that know me or have a connection to me. So there's that piece too. But yeah, in the last month, in our final sort of month together, I was finally able to crack it a bit, and now things are starting to flow. And I made a $4,500 last month. Which is great. And now, the leads are coming in, the right leads are coming in. So it's just really me honing in on my sales skills.
No, that's amazing. And again, I appreciate your honesty because I respect you because you was resilient and you pushed through. And I think a lot of people would have just gone, it doesn't work and left it. But I appreciate the fact that you put your trust in me and you listened to the fact that I was like, no, this will work. We've got this, and we nailed through. But I think it's important to share as well, right? Because
Yeah.
not everything is sunshine and rainbows, and sometimes there is trial and error, and sometimes we do need to make pivots and make changes and fix them. But I think the main thing for anybody watching this is that it only doesn't work if you stop. And like you're a prime example of you push
And there
through.
were moments that I did think this wasn't for me, for sure. Like
Yeah,
when we were getting calls and people are like, "Yep, I'm gonna buy," and then nothing, and then "Yep, I'm gonna
yeah,
buy." Like, we've gotten so many yeses that didn't turn into a sale, and so I was like, maybe this universe, telling me it's not for me. And so, yeah, I'm not someone to just kind of give up easily. I was like, I'm gonna listen to everything you say, and if it still doesn't work, we'll see. Um, but yeah, it did feel like at moments like it is working for everyone else. People are getting sales in the community, and it's not working for me. And it
yeah.
was frustrating for sure.
Yeah, I know for sure. I can totally imagine it. So again, even more, I respect it that you pushed through because that's the exact same mindset I have, but I know not everybody has that grit and that resilience. So generally I do respect it a lot, and I'm happy that you've started getting the sales in and now we've got the right people, but that is part of the process and part of the journey sometimes. And like I think it's a prime example that not everything can just always be perfect all the time. Like
Right.
things get in the way, you've got to learn, you've got to pivot, you've got to make changes. But again, hats off to you for pushing through that definitely. And so I guess for me, I've genuinely really enjoyed working with you a lot. I think as well, just like your mindset and your approach to it as yeah, it's been refreshing for me. Like just like you've trusted me, you've stuck to it, even when it got really tough, you still pushed through, even when you had those moments of doubts. But for you, like what's been your favorite part about working together?
Yeah, I do feel like I'm like your ideal client, right? Like, I'm the one who's going to do all the homework and get
Yeah.
everything done when it's saying you're going to get done,
Yeah.
and push through when the whole thing. So yeah, I feel like I took it very seriously. I committed to the whole process, but part of that commitment was because you were so helpful. You were checking in. You were really genuine about your support. I didn't feel like I couldn't message you during certain times. Like, you're just like, yeah, just message me. It's okay. Um, so it was good to always know that I could just send you some of my, conversations and be like, I don't know what to say here. Like, at this point.
Yeah.
So I sincerely like appreciate that about you, is that you genuinely want to help the people that you're working with. And it shows in all the interactions that we've had and all the calls that we've had, and asking, like, just saying like, no, just send it to me or ask me, or, don't feel like you're asking for like too much, or I'll tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, cool. I appreciate that. And you yeah, like I said, I genuinely did really enjoy working together. It was a rocky road, but we got there in the end, and I'm happy we did. But
Yeah.
for you, like what are the main differences that you see now in yourself in terms of like where you're at with your coaching compared to where we started?
Yeah, like I am getting potential leads that are going to lead to, me being able to grow this business to where I want to get it to, right? So, for like 4,000 this month, like or close to 5,000 this month, next month could be more. Like I feel like it'll continue to get better and better, to where, coaching could be the primary, which is great. There's definitely some few steps that need to happen in between to get me there, but I think I can finally see that there is a way to get to fully coaching at some point in my career, which is nice.
Oh, cool. I'm very happy about that. I'm glad. Yeah, it's nice to hear. And so, an interesting question for you, because I think people watching this will find it interesting, is like when we initially started, did you have any like hesitations or objections to begin with at all?
Yeah, I mean, you always consider the investment versus the outcome, right? Like at least that's
Yeah.
how I look at things. It's like, okay, if I'm putting in X number of dollars, how much am I going to be able to get it out? And if he's saying that I can get X number of leads, it pays for itself, right? So I always kind of look at it that way, in terms of like it's going to take a certain amount of investment, it's going to take a certain amount of my time. Am I going to be able to commit to this and really give it fully what it needs? And I think that's the only thing I need to consider is one, am I open to just doing exactly what he's going to say? Because I'm not someone that wants to be on Instagram, nor do I want to put my face up there, do videos, all these things. That's not my
Yeah, I
my
remember that at
thing.
the
But
start. Yeah.
I will do it if that's what it takes to get to what I need to get to. So I think for me, there wasn't. I did ask you. I'm like, is this going to be all on Instagram? And you said yes, in our sort of call, and I was like, oh, God. Like that was just like not a great feeling, but if that's what needs to happen, it needs to happen, then you kind of just do what needs to be done. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say like I obviously consider the cost or the investment versus like what I'm going to be getting back. And then I was like, it's just a no-brainer in that standpoint. And then, yeah, being able to put myself out there was the other thing of, I'm just not I don't have social media personally. I don't do any of that stuff. And so to have to now do this for work, fine. But I look at it from a bigger goal of like, what is the main outcome I'm trying to get?
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. And I actually forgot about that at the start that that was deal because now I see all your videos, you just look like a natural. So yeah, play
Yeah.
for pushing through that as well. But cool, no, thank you, I appreciate that. And my last question for you, Rima, is who would you recommend us to and why?
Yeah, so anyone who is struggling to grow their coaching business, whatever type of coaching, because I feel like it doesn't have to be corporate coaching or one stream. I think it can work in any sort of industry of coaching. Even if you do have a certain amount of business coming in and you want to take it to that next level, I still feel like this will take it to that next level. So I think there's both for the starting people who are just starting to grow it and for people who are already, have some but want to get more and take it to that next level. This will do it.
Cool, perfect. Thank you so much, Rima. I really appreciate that. And like I said, I've really enjoyed working with you, and I'm excited to see now that we've gone through the rocky road with it, we've done the trials and errors. I'm excited to see what the future holds for you with this and where you take it. So thank you again for your time. For anybody watching, if you want to sort of see a little bit more about the process that we're referring to here, there'll be a link in the description of the video. But again, Rima, thank you so much.